Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good afternoon.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good afternoon.
Well, we are from A Afternoon Class 2013. We are from English Department of Teacher Training Education of Mulawarman University. Well, today we are going to learn about statistics, Anova one way and two way. Before that, I would like to introduce myself. My name is Hafni, and my friend from right to left. The first is
Aunia, Fuji,
Mira, Ariana.
well. I'm going to explain about Anova in general. Well, the founder of statistics is Ronald Fisher. Analysis of variance or Anova. The name of analysis of variance is based on the approach in which the procedure uses variance to determine whether the means are different. Anova is a technique from statistical inference that allows us to deal with several populations. Anova is a method to test hypothesis that the means of two or more populations are equal. Anova is used to compare differences of means among more than two groups. It does this by looking at variation in the data and where that variation is found.
The one-way analysis of variance Anova is used to determine whether there are any significant difference between the means of two or more dependent, unrelated groups. Although you tend to only see it used when there are a minimum of three, rather than two groups. The Anova test of the hypothesis is based on the comparisons of two dependent estimates of the population variance. When performing an Anova project, the following assumptions are required. The observation required: 1. The observations are independent of one another. 2. The observation in each group come from a normal distribution. And then the one-way analysis of variance is used to determine whether there are any significant difference between the means of three or more dependent unrelated groups. This will provide a brief introduction to the one-way Anova, include the assumption of the test and when you should use this test. If you are familiar with the one-way Anova,
What this test do? The one-way Anova covers the means between the groups you are interested in and determines whether any of those means are significantly different from each other. Especially, it tests the null hypothesis, and you can see this formula. You can see this formula, and then when you need to use this test, if you are dealing with individuals, you are likely to encounter these situations using two different types of study design. And an example, contohnya Anda mengambil sebuah kelompok, beberapa kelompok, dan Anda membaginya misalkan 4 kelompok, dan 4 kelompok itu Anda mencari nilai yang tertinggi maupun yang terendahnya. Dan how do I run a one-way Anova? There are numerous ways to run a one-way Anova. Wherever we provide a comprehensive step-by-step guide on how to do this using SPSS statistics.
And then, how we report the result of this one-way ANOVA, you will have calculated the following result or obtain them from SPSS statistic. First of all, SPSS is a computer application that supports statistical analysis of data. It allows for comprehensive data access and preparation. This software has extensive capabilities in analytical reporting, graphics, and statistical modeling. As you can see in my lab, this is one of the sample of statistical sample that using SPSS application. And I will show you a little bit about step by step of using SPSS application. First, open your SPSS application and click analyze, then comprehend them, and then one-way ANOVA on the top menu as shown in my left. Second, you will be presented with the following screen. And the third, transfer the dependent variable time into the dependent list box and the independent variable course into the factor box using the appropriate buttons. These buttons that like panah cursor, buttons as indicated in the diagram below. And the fourth, click the post hoc button, tick the rule checkbox as shown here. And fifth, click the continue button. Sixth, click the option button, tick the descriptive checkbox and the statistics area as shown here. And 7, click the continue below, and finally click OK. That's all.
ANOVA two-way. The two-way ANOVA compares the mean difference between groups and then have been split onto independent variable or cal factor. The primary purpose of a two-way ANOVA is to understand if there is an interaction between the two independent variables on the dependent variable. Jadi ANOVA itu ada dua jenis, ya, dua arah yang berinteraksi dan dua arah yang tidak berinteraksi. Saya akan menjelaskan tentang yang berinteraksi. Yang berinteraksi ada replikasi, replication, and local control. And two-way ANOVA satisfies all three principles of design of experiment, namely replication and randomization and the local control. Principle of replication and randomization need to be satisfied in a manner similar is two-way ANOVA. The principle of local control means to make the observation as homogeneous as possible so that error due to one or more actionable causes may be removed from the experimental error. In our example, if we divided the employees only according to their age, then we would have ignore the effect of gender or stress with would then accumulate with the experimental error. But we divided them not only according to age, but also according to gender, which would help in reducing the error. This is application of the principle of local control for reducing error variation and making the design more efficient. I think it's enough.
Okay, well, we know that Anova is the branch of invariant statistic, and we know if we use Anova to test our hypothesis, it will make easy our investigation. And we know that Anova is divided into two parts of analysis. And now I'm going to tell you about Anova with iteration in the two-way. So iteration in the Anova means that show about the factor that wanna be examined is different. For example, with the iteration, we can see the line and like line A has the higher score than B low scores. Okay, but yeah, that's all. And the next, to use examine statistic Anova, it has to fulfill some assumptions such as homogeneity of variant variable dependent has the same variance in each category of independent variable. And then to random sampling, to destination is the mind significance, so the subject of each group has to taken randomly. Okay, and then a multivariate normality. To destination is the benign significance, so variable has to follow distribution. Normal multivariate. Dependent variable will be distributed. Normality in each category in the independent variable. Okay, that's all the explanation from me, and thank you.
So, in the conclusion, Anova a procedure for comparing more than two groups independent variable and dependent variable. One way, Anova has one dependent variable with two conditions, and two-way Anova has two independent variables. And there are two kinds of two-way Anova. The first is with interaction and without interaction. I think that's all for today for our explanation, and thank you very much. We hope from our explanation you can more get knowledge that you have known before. And anyone to tell something or
Semoga bermanfaat.
Yeah, hopefully our discussion today is really benefit for you and for all.
Semoga
Semoga
bermanfaat juga.
Semoga nilai kita bagus.
Semoga bermanfaat yang pastinya, dan terima kasih sudah menonton channel kami.
Yeah.
Thank you for
Jangan lupa
watching.
saksikan video kami selanjutnya.
Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you.